Hello, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to attend the talk today. I would encourage you to spread the word about this talk. You can also share the live stream from Facebook. So this talk can be accessible to more interested ones. Feel free to drop your question in the chat box during the talk. Our back of house facilitator will collect all the questions for later Q&A section. So over here, I'm just going to do a quick introduction about Philo. Philo is a series of salon talk revolving the discussion of philosophies and humanities and art and culture exchange platform set up bilaterally between Taiwan and Malaysia, organized by the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Malaysia, and produced by the INSO Art and Culture Foundation. So I'm Wendy Teo. I will be your moderator for the talk today. Let's welcome our guest speaker, Wang Yuling. So Wang past experience spread across like private sector and public sector. I personally think her sharing today will be valuable for the art practitioner, art policy maker, and also the corporate body interested in investing their CSR focus in the cultural involvement. So speaking about Wang experience, she holds 2 MA in French literature from the University of Montreal, Canada, and Paris-Sorbonne IV University, France. In 1994, Wang was a PhD candidate, majored in visual history in the art, in the School of Advanced Study in the Social Science, France. So since 1990s, she has been a regular writer for Art Magazine and published more than 100 articles and translated multiple international contemporary art publications. So if you are interested in her writing, Wang has also published a number of publications regarding public art. So from 1996 to 2000, she was part of the Sculptural Association in the Cultural Ministry of France and curated a number of big-scale outdoor sculptural exhibitions. In 2001, she worked as an editor-in-chief of ARTCO Magazine and founded Blue Dragon Art Company, which has curated more than over 100 public art projects in Taiwan. So at the same time, she started to set foot in public sector as she was commissioned to reform the public art regulation by the Ministry of Culture in the Republic of China. So let's welcome our speaker today.
Hello, hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wang. Yeah, welcome to do the talk. Yeah,
it's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay. So without further ado, do you want to start doing your talk? Yeah.
Yeah. If we, because we can talk later.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to be here and then to share all the experience I have in Taiwan and also back in the early times in Paris. Yeah.
I think certainly your experience, because I think you have experience in both sector, like public sector and private sector. So
Yes.
So I can see your experience will be very valuable for most of the people attending the talk. And I'm sure most of them comes from not simply the individual practitioner background, but also from the public sector background. Yeah. So I think your experience will be quite valuable. Yeah.
And I hope that all the projects I have done in my life and the 20 years of time involved in public art can be really useful to share with friends and audience here that because this part, it can be divided in the governmental sections and the private sections. So these 2 parts, they have to work together on really to make our better life and better world. So it's important, I think, to everybody to understand this is not only the governmental work that they have to do, but also to the corporates or the private sectors also can do a lot, contribute their force on it.
Exactly. Especially, I think Malaysian context is still kind of like most of the art initiative kind of driven from a bottom-up point of view rather than the top-down policy. So I think like this is also where it could be really interesting to see how does it work in Taiwanese context and also the
Yes.
ecosystem. Yeah.
Okay, good. I can
Yeah.
make a short introduction to everyone and to have an overview of what have been go through in Taiwan
Yes.
about public
Yes.
art.
Yeah. 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 I think that will be good. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so I think
Mm.
I will start my
Okay. I will mute myself.
my
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay my talk. Okay, so next page we
Okay.
start the first page. Okay, so today I would like to share with everyone here that about my experience in public art in Taiwan, and there's three parts that are three chapters I would like to talk about. One is public art as a cultural policy. Second one is the public art for the urban landscape, and then the third part is about the public art with public recognition. Okay, page down. So the first is about public art as a cultural policy. We all know that this public art legislation is cultural and art policy mainly to improve the environmental quality and also to promote the national aesthetic education. Next. So if we can start to look at the city, nowadays all the new city, new development, new developed cities are all based on the master plan and the urban planning to design the city itself for the landscape and the functions. But public arts, what the public art can do is capture the common living experience and the collective memories of the city to create a cultural landscape of the city. So this is very important because we are human. We need this part to really feel like at home. Otherwise, it's just like a hotel or something that it doesn't make you feel like to stay or feel like you are at your hometown. So a good public artworks can make society and the people to have the sense of identity, which is very important, have this identity to feel like you love your place and feel like this public space is where I want to live. Okay. So let's have a look about the origin of the public art policy. And this public art policy was in 1929, was launched by the President Franklin Roosevelt. It's during the Great Depression in USA, and this president is great. He aimed this policy to support artists to go through this difficult time. And then in 1959, the Urban Redevelopment Bureau of Philadelphia, they formulate this 1% for arts, this law, and then become a cultural and art policy. And also in different cities in United States, they have this different 1% for art plan. In different cities, they apply differently. So it's like a federal. It's not a federal law, but it's a local plan for each city in the United States. That's how they practice in United States. Then we can look at in France. In France, it's a central law. So that in 1936, they have already this 1% beautification of the buildings bill, which only officially enacted in 1951. But at the time, it was only for the private primary and secondary schools and university, because this is more for the purpose of education. They want the students to get in touch with the contemporary art in the campus, where they can where they spend their time in the daily life to learn and then to get in touch of the public art. So this is very educational. So this both country, they have different purpose, but at the end, it comes this public art policy, and then many countries they have this, but still right nowadays still have a lot of countries they don't have this law, but it doesn't matter. They can apply in different way. Okay, next. So now we can have an overview of the development of public art in Taiwan. In 1992, because of this influence from US and France, so Taiwan's highest institution in charge of art and cultural policies at the time called Cultural Development of Committee of the Executive Yuan. They legislated this Cultural and Arts Reward Act. In Chinese, they call it 文化艺术奖助条例. And according to this act, they developed in the 1998 the regulations governing the installation of public artwork, called 公共艺术设置办法, is approved. And then this was as a start point of public art in Taiwan. And since then they start to apply. So now more than 20 years pass. There are more than 2,000 public art works installed in Taiwan, and accumulate the budget is over 2 billion NT dollar. It's around 277 million Malaysian ringgit. Okay, next page. Then we can have a look about the milestones in Taiwan's public arts. And myself, I came back to Taiwan in 2000. So it's really the start point of the Taiwan public art. Because I was working in France, in Paris, for the Ministry of Culture. So we did, and also in a very famous art gallery called Denis René, and we did a lot of public art projects for the French government. So with my experience and also with the connection with artists, so I established my own company called Blue Dragon Art. And we did a lot of public art projects the over past 20 years. And more than the most important big projects, we did we can say 70% of them. So if you are interested in what I have done, my company, so you can visit our website. Next. And there are a few milestones that I would share with everyone. Is like in 2002, we are commissioned by the Department of the Cultural Affairs, Taipei City Government, to do the research about the public art fund in the different 5 countries, like France, United States, Germany, Canada, and different cities. So in order to establish the public art fund in Taiwan. So after this research, that many cities and counties start to establish their own public art fund in the city, because in this way they can gather more budget, and also the 1% public art budget doesn't have to spend out at the time in one time or in one place. So this art fund is really gives an alternative way to do the public art projects. Next. And from 2004 to 2013, commissioned by the Ministry of Culture, we added the public art yearbook. And in the yearbook, that really we conduct all the surveys as statistic analysis on the budget, on the quality and the current status of each artwork and each public art projects installed in the whole Taiwan. And so this yearbook becomes a very useful reference for many countries. A lot of university scholars, artists, they all access to or they want to buy this yearbook for them, because many countries like China, Korea, Japan, they don't have this public art law to apply the project, but some private sectors, they really want to know how to do it, and it's really helpful. And also the governmental sectors, they also want to know what can this public art helps in the country. Okay, next. So in 2000, from 2002 to 2019, so commissioned by the Culture Ministry and also the Department of Cultural Affairs of different cities and counties to organize public art seminar. This is very important because in Taiwan, the public art project is done by different organizations of governmental organizations. So many of them, they are public servants. They don't know about art. So this public art seminars is very, very important to train them, to let them know what is public art, what can be done, and what is possibility to do it. So this training, this seminar is really helpful to improve people especially public servants, to understand what is public art, and also help them to do the right way, to do the right direction, and help them to open their visions. And in 2009, we also helped to purchase a collection of more than 1,000 public books and catalogs from the world, from all kinds of publications for the Tainan National University of Arts. And these collections really become reference for many people and artists and scholars, and also different organizations, so they can get more idea how to do it and what we can do on what is possible. So what was the focus of their own. So this is really a very good help for them. Next page. So also in 2008 to 2014, we are commissioned again by the Cultural Department Council, in a way, Ministry of the Culture in 2012, because Taiwan, the Ministry of Culture changed the name officially in 2012. Before it's called Cultural Development Council. So in these 2 years that we were asked to amend the law, and so from the practice until the 2008, it's already 10 years. And then 2008 to 2014, another 6 years. So Taiwan's public art is changing according to the different period of time and different difficulty that they have faced, and the government is especially the Ministry of Culture, they see it, and they They really get into aim the law and adapt to the real situation. So the new version of the regulation of governing the installation of public art expounds the definition of public art and also converts the art setting into the project type. Because before we're always talking about public art work itself. So we have a lot of work, but then the work, it stays and it take a lot of space. So sometimes the work itself, it has to be maintained and has to be take care of. So it becomes a kind of burden. But if we do it as a project type, we can have an event. We can have also a different way to do it. We can make it as an educational program. We can make it as a few years of exhibitions. So this become very imaginative that we can do about public art, not just the artwork installed, finished. So with this, with this change of the definition, so it becomes a lot of varieties that we can do. And also the second important things is in this new version law that we encourage the architectural design as a public artwork, because we all know the public art is only 1%. And how can we expect 1% of the budget can change the 99% of the building, which if badly designed and badly built. So this is obvious that for everyone that we should also focus on the 99% of the budget to create a nice architecture. So it will really change the urban landscape and also enhance the aesthetic quality of the city, and also for the citizen to understand what is the most important for the landscape. So this is because before we have always these ugly buildings, especially for the governmental building. They just wanted to build a strong building that doesn't care about the architecture design. So with this new version, we encourage this. So in 2013, we applied a new regulation to the public art project of the Social Science Library of National Taiwan University. And this building is designed by the international well-known Japanese architect called Toyo Ito. And so this building was the first time as a public art work was approved by the Ministry of the Culture. So this was also the highest honor for the building to consider as an artwork. And this is really encouraging for the architects in Taiwan. So a lot of Taiwanese architects, they really feel more enthusiastic to really design a good buildings, a nice building for the public servant. And since then, we can see there are many beautiful architecture has been designed by local architects across the country. Next. So you can see this building, only the green roof. This part is the library. Next. So you can see before this one. So you can see the library inside. It's very beautiful and designed by Toyo Ito. And you see the natural light from the roof, and also it's a green building. very beautiful. Next. And since then, I was talking about the other Taiwanese architects, like this one, Lanyang Museum. Last year is also approved by the Ministry of Culture as a public artwork. It's designed by Chris Yao. But this one applied before the one of Toyo Ito, but because there are some issue didn't solved, so only last year they finished, and this year they get it. Last year they get approved. So you can see it's also a really beautiful building. So the building itself is really can change the landscape, not only the small public artwork, but we should make it larger. The building itself, it's a sculpture. It's a big sculpture. Okay, next. And so then I would like to talk about the important cases of public art in Taipei, because Taipei is the capital city and they occupied more than half of the public art projects. Because public art projects, public art budgets come from, the 1% is come from all the constructions. So because this capital city, so they have a lot of constructions and budgets. So that's why the public art, the important cases in Taipei can have a lot of influence, and also can be the example for other cities in Taiwan. And so I would like to talk about the first one. Is about in 1999, the first public art demonstration case in Taiwan. And this case was located in the intersection of the Donghua and North and South Road. This area is the important administrative, financial, commercial area, and also the airport is in between these two roads. So at the time they select this area to demonstrate public art project. Is really they wanted to let people to see this busy urban space and can see the artwork and also shaping the international image of local characteristics. Next. And so in 2000, so that one is the first one. And then since the Department of Cultural Affairs of Taipei City, they start in 2002, the first Taipei Public Art Festival for Neihu wastewater treatment plant. And this place, at this time, they aimed it for the environment protection, the water issue, and also adding a lot of community thinking. So for the first time, they adapt the temporary artwork in the open, in this open space, and then to the public. Surprisingly, they highly accept this concept of installation art as a public artwork, and also is temporary. Okay, so it set up the new way to do the public art projects. Second, next page. And the next year, the second art festival, public art festival, is in Dihua wastewater treatment plant. And this project, they turn into this public facility, cold feeling and hot wares, into a very full of leisure and sportive park with public artworks. And also they organize so many related activities and interaction and collaboration with the community. So the residents of this area. They really like it, this public art program. And since then, the public art has the goal is that the public first, then art. It means that the public has to like it, because public art is democratic. They go to the public, not the public go to the art. So this has become a very important practice, the spirit of public art in Taiwan, which is very different from other countries. And that is also why the Ministry of Culture has a lot of organized all kind of seminars to that people, that especially the public servant, to understand the public art, because they are the one who organize it and do it. So they have to know what is the importance of public art. And by this way of practice, it's really raised the level of understanding of the public art, which is very important, and which is very different from many countries. Like France, it's only the Cultural Bureau do the public art, and they are the expert on art, so they don't have problem to select artists or to do art forms. So this is never a question. But if it's done by other people who is not expert about art, then there's a lot of problem. But in the same time, by doing this, they really people, especially public servants, they improve their knowledge and their connaissance about art. So this is very important. Next page. So, and then in 2004, the Nangang Software Industrial Park, at the time, until last year, that was the highest public art funding in Taiwan. They have like almost 100 million NT for the budget. But this project, what is important is focus on the new media art, and it's because the software industrial park, it's a park for for the new media. So and it's surprisingly is this new media art is largely accepted by the public, because normally this kind of art form is not easy to maintain, but it fits the image of the park. So it's since then people think new media art can be public art, no problem. Yeah. Next. And then another important case, it's about the Taipei 101 building. This building was the highest building from 2004 to 2010, and it's located in Taipei Xinyi district, where it's the center of tourism, commerce, and politics and finance. So I think most of people come to visit Taiwan, they all visit Taipei 101. And this is the first time the private sector devoted public art, because this building it was the highest building, and then for them it's very important to promote this also the art. Not only the high technology of the building, but also the cultural side of the building. And the arts in the culture and the arts in this building is highly show it. So you can see a lot of the artworks on the sidewalk. So it was up to now is still the highest public art funding in Taiwan's public art case, but this one is the private. Private is in the private sector, so it's very important that this private sector, they invest to promote their images and their corporate contribution back to the society. So this is a very good example. Next. And then in the 2009, there's this North Gate station of the transit hub center of the Taipei MRT Zhongshan line and airport line. During the construction, the Qing Dynasty Machinery Bureau was excavated. So the municipal cultural access committee right away they did this city monument as a great historical discovery. And in 2013, we were commissioned to execute the public art. We try to reproduce the archaeological pits. Pit site on site, and also we design the wall with all those archaeological material on the north wall, and it becomes the most nostalgic MRT stations, which is very different from those modern ones. And so this case is the first time that public art is integrated into the archaeological site. So we can see the pictures. Next page. Yeah, so you can see there's the archaeology site inside the metro station. Next page. So you can see we use all those bricks that we dig from the earth. And then get into and integrate to the wall, and then to create the atmosphere of the time. Next page. And other cases, like in 2014, Taipei Department of the Cultural Affairs, they used the public art fund to commission us to do the 130th anniversary of Taipei founding. And in this project, important is that the Department of Cultural Affairs, they use the public art fund to do some new projects that related with the culture, with the art, with the local history. So with this art fund, that the cultural affair can do more than what they want to do, because in many different districts, if they don't have any new constructions, they don't have any public art project, because the public art projects and the budgets comes from the new constructions. So in this way, you can use it really to renew or renovate some old area, and we'll use those public art funds. So it's really give a really good example to know to understand if we can have an art fund in a city, so then can have more this art construction, art public art projects in different regions and different area. So, and when we apply this, we make it as event, and we commission artists to do some illustration, to do even a band to write a song for the city, and use different way to reproduce the history of the development of Taipei city and help people to understand. Next page. So you can see we do our work, so we do events, so we produce a lot of different pamphlet to that people understand, and all kind of activities. Next. And also we commissioned this illustration book for the whole development of Taipei railway station. And this illustration book win a lot of prize in Bologna, in Barcelona, in United States. Many illustration big award. So you can see the importance. If we do some good projects, and then the influence can spread out. Next. And so in 2009, the Taipei city government also wants to promote the Taipei Looks Good series. It's a series of projects, and they really use the this public art policy really well to improve the urban planning. And it's really a good strategy because they use this artwork to change the atmosphere, and then in the same time to improve the quality of the environment. And also they create the regional landmark. So with this, they really achieve their goal to increasing the charm of the city. Next page. So I wanted to continue to make the connection about the public art to change the urban landscape. So here I wanted to talk about a case that we have done, and about the public art plan can transform the urban space and also create a cultural identity for the citizens and also the local residents, and to enjoy living there, and they have the pleasure to stroll in the public urban space. Next. Here I want to talk about that this Shui market that we have done is really a very good example for the urban landscape. This building is 10 stories building, and it is currently, we can consider as the biggest public art work in the world. But however, the importance about the public art doesn't lie in the volume or the size of the artwork, but it's the influence of the work on the entire region or the entire regional landscape and the identity of the residents. And this project can show you what I'm talking about. Next. So we can have a look about this building. So this Shui market was built in 1953. It's in the center of the Gongguan area. There are many schools like National Taiwan University, Taiwan University of Science and Technology, and 4 elementary, junior high school surrounded not far. And it's the landmark of this area, and also witnessed the development of the Gongguan district, which is the one of the early development area in Taipei. Next. So now we can have a closer look at this building in the front, which is really like ugly building, like a lot of old governmental building, which is at the time they just built it for the function, never really considered about the aesthetic or the design. Okay, next page. So in order to make the brand new Shui Shui Market, we invited international artist Yakov Agam to create the work called Heart of Water Source. And this work really demonstrates this artist's work, his artistic work with rich color and geometric composition. So this really really make the change of the public's impression of the traditional market. And this reborn market becomes the landmark of this area. And after this was done, I think the city government and also the local straw people who lives there, they all improve and updated the relevant hardware and equipment inside the building and also the neighborhood area. So next page. So let's have a short introduction about this artist. The Yakov Agam, he created this Salon Yakov Agam, and for the French presidential palace, the Élysée in Paris. And this salon was commissioned by the President Georges Pompidou in 70s, and the time was to show that the France was looking toward to the future. So it's very very kinetic art at the time. Okay, next page. Next page. Next page. No, come back. Yes, great. So you can see this artist that when we invited him, he was 82 years old already, and he is an artist who really used a lot of beautiful colors. In this building, he designed 217 different colors for this building. We can have he designed like 37 different blue, 32 different purple colors. So it makes like a music with different notes. So that's how he really tried to use so many colors, but geometrically of the colors. So it gives a variety, and in the same time, in an older way, it's just like a symphony. Okay, next page. So you can see from the left side, you see the white and blue stripe. It's just like waves in the ocean. Next. In the front, you see the graduate rainbow reflect on the ocean waves. Next. And then from the right side, you see the graduate rainbow colors appears. It just symbolizes the Taipei's multiple cultural color and the cultural colors. So, and also the whole work is also echo the endless water source of the Shui Market, because this place was the water source of Taipei. So that's why this market was built in 1953 and called Shui Market, the water source market. Okay, next page. So so we know a public art is built and it may change the urban landscape, but important is to keep the public artwork in a good shape. So when we build it, we think of all these details. So we use the most high-tech building materials to produce to do all the buildings, and so it can remain the best of itself, and so in the future, people will not say, oh, it become become ugly again. And so we try to think of all these details, and so we like the exterior wall, we use the self-cleaning energy saving paint, which is more expensive than the usual one, but it can also reduce the indoor temperature. They can achieve the energy saving and power saving. So it's really worth it, and also prevent the growth of the mold and moss. So the building itself can remains beautifully and doesn't have this like the issue of dust or moss. And also the lighting, we use the energy saving LED light. So this become like a old building, but it can still remain the power saving and the energy saving, and also become the material itself can be recyclable. So it's all for the good of the environment. Next page. And so you can see it at nighttime. It's really beautiful, and now becomes a nice area to visit. And everybody goes to around as the night market, and it becomes a very important landmark. Next. And so here I would like to say is like public art. It can give a really good influences to the urban landscape, because if we think of this this project, and people, the residents, they at the hearing, we present them the model right away, they accept it. They are really excited to have this new building, and then to renovate the whole area. So when we present this project, the whole market, they suspended 2 days for us to build up those protection of the building, and people become very cooperative, and they now they clean the environment. The market is become very very beautiful and clean and more modernized. On all the material is upgraded, and also it's all automatically by themselves. They get this conscience about the where they live. They wanted to purify it. They want to make it better life. So so this is the importance. And then people see the changes, and there is an increase of the shopping crowds. Many mothers, they go there, they go back to shop in the Shui market, because before it's getting backward and dirty. People go less and less to shop. But now at the time, I heard from a lady say, she said, "Oh, I feel like I'm a noble person. I'm going to a museum to buy my grocery." So when she said it, she was like very proud of it and like it very much. And so this is the concept, the mind change is very important. And this change is very subtle and very dedicatedly. It's not a governmental ordinance. So it all by themselves automatically. So it's very important influence. And also this public artwork also won the 2010 grand prize in the facade improvement of the old house new building in Taiwan. So it's a really good confirmation for this project. Next. So you can see now you can see all the building. This picture is taken a few years ago, but now all the building in the right side, they all renovate. It's all clean now. It's very become a nice area. Next. And then you can see this picture is the back side of the market. Usually the back side is really dirty and full of garbage, but now it's very clean. Everything is in order. And then you can see the right side, all the stands and how the way they show their goods, all in order beautifully. So you can see the change that people start to improve, and they wanted to have a better and better life. So and people are willing to go there to shop. So it's win-win. Next. I wanted to talk about the impact of this project because the influences of the community and the landscape itself. And because of this, this building was totally renovated artistically. So then it's really developed a kind of people's identity. This identity is very important that I have mentioned before, because people really saw the differences and see the new possibility, and it's helped them to identify themselves that they can do something better and to respond to the changes of this area. So this has become really interesting, because now if you go to the this area, and you will see there's a lot of buildings change color into deep blue, light blue, blue sky, blue ocean, and automatically they wanted to really to improve the whole environment. And then the secondly, it is more like in the governmental law. This because we have done this project. So in 2010, the Ministry of Interior, Construction Administration promulgate the Central Urban Renewal Funds subsidized for self-implanted renewal measures to provide relevant subsidies for the reconstruction, renovation, or maintenance of old buildings to achieve energy saving, carbon reduction, and to improve the quality and the safety of the living environment. As we know, a city, after a few years of development, and then it becomes old. There's a lot of old buildings need to be renovated. In France, they have this kind of law that to maintain the old building, even the government give money, give the subsidies to help the maintain the building itself. So this is very important for a city to maintain this life living standard and also the quality. So after we done this project, so the Ministry of the Interior, Construction and Administration, they realized this can be done. So I was invited to give some lecture and seminars to them, and then explain how it can do. So since then, people start to think of a beautiful landscape of the city. It's not just tear down the old building, but we can renovate. We can give a new face, or to make it cleaner. So this become very important, because there's also in in many developed cities, especially in Asia, a lot of old city, they just tear down those old buildings, which is it destroyed the culture, destroyed the history. So we should really have the new way to do it. So with this law, you can see next page. that there are many buildings apply for the subsidize for the renewable these buildings. They have a new look. The environment become more clean, and people who lives in those buildings are more safe. Their quality of life is improved. So it's really a very good way to improve the landscape, the city landscape. Okay, next page. And another things I would like to say that it's very important point in Taiwan regarding the public art practicing is the public recognition. As I have mentioned before that in different countries they have different way to practice public art. Sorry, like in France, I say that it's all the culture, the Department of Cultural Affairs. They take care of the public art projects, so they don't have this kind of communications with public, because they are expert. They know what is the best. But in Taiwan, the way we practice is to in the same time to raise the level and the connaissance of the arts. So that's why it's different organization. Whenever they have like if a central bank, and let's say they wanted to construct a new building, so they have to do it by themselves. So then they have to know what is public art, and then in the same time they have to use this to educate people. Who are those people? The public around, who the people who will come to the bank, or the people who work in the bank. So they are the public who had this contact with the building, with the construction. So this public art is for them, and for them to understand what is the art and why we introduce public art into this site. So we need their public recognition. So this public recognition is a must for determining the success of a public art, and it's also allow everyone to understand in this public space the history, the present, and the future. And also the community can really have this conscious about what will be in the future and what we expect in the future. So, and what we'll do, what we'll learn. So from this public art. So this is very important with this public recognition. Next page. So in the milestone of the public art in Taiwan, I forgot to mention about this public art awards. In 2008, after 14 years of the public art applied in Taiwan, there's so many artworks has been done and installed. So the culture, the Ministry of Culture, they start to have establish this public art awards to really confirm those public art projects are well done, our works are well installed, and also has the influences. So we organize the public art award. Up to now, there's already seven times of this public art, because it's every 2 years. We organize, the Ministry of Culture organized this, and we are commissioned to do the 4 times of the award. But I have to say this time we didn't organize it, so it's not because we organize it. So we give the award to the biggest award to ourselves. And this project, we did it with the Southern Taiwan Science Park, which belongs to the Ministry of Science and Technology. Next page. And with this project, we really spent 10 years to execute this project, and we really focus on public recognitions. And this science park, the director, it's really a great guy that I admired a lot, because he knows there are so many science parks in Taiwan, and this one is the second biggest one in terms of the figure of the profit or the productions, but the biggest in terms of the land. So he think the best science and technology park has to have a really good environment to keep the best science technology company and engineer to stay. So he really emphasized to use the public art project to really to make a really beautiful and nice science park, and that them can stay, and those great engineers and the companies can stay and to develop the company, and also those they can have their life established over there. So this is the best example of the public art project that really takes time and work on the public recognition. Next page. And so this project takes really a long time, that we can divide it in 4 periods. The first period is the master plan period, and then the second plan is the observation period. The third time is also the third time is open setup period, and the fourth is about the maturities. Okay, next page. So this science park, as I say, is the biggest in Taiwan, and also I think it's also the biggest in the world. It's huge. It's 1,043 actors, and up to now, there's 232 manufactory is established over there, and more than 120 employees work there. As the biggest company, the most important company we know is the Taiwan Semiconductor manufacturing. This is the most important company in Taiwan, and produce a semiconductor. They have 7 factories over there, and now they are still building 4 of them. So this science park is very important, and especially the public art budget is accumulates every year. And at the time, I told them not to spend it once a time every year like this. Instead, we should really gather together as a public art fund, and then we have we do the master plan, what we want to do annually, and I also take them to visit other science park in Europe. So we really spend time whole year to do the master plan for this public art. Next. And this park itself has because this park itself has a really a great historical background. There's 31 archaeological site has been discovered, and also there's Aboriginal tribes and different in a different period of time have different history. So it's really important for the development of the settlement, historical settlement of Taiwan with the Han tribe, with Aboriginal tribe, and also with those colonial period of time. So it's really full of history. It's not just a simple science park. Next. And so at the time, we really the director of this science park, he really had this idea. He wanted people who lives there, all the manufacturers and the staff who work here, they can really find fun in life and also create surprise in technology, because this is a technology park. And but technology sometimes is very boring. So he wants them to have fun in life and have a surprise. So that's his idea, and also the direction is the public art direction for the future. Okay, next. So we divided in the different phases of public art. In the first phases that we install 20 artworks. I think I forgot to mention before. In the master plan, we decide to do the public art projects with in season. We call it public art season. Every year we have public art season and public art festival. So in a way, people are waiting for, from June to August, we have this public art season. So people are waiting for it, and then they can enjoy life, and also with art, with event, cultural event, with all kind of performance and concerts and all that. Okay, so in this observation period that we start with install the artwork, but this is only temporary artwork. We tell everybody it's temporary, and please come and look for it. And if you like it, and you can vote for it. And then some of the artwork can stay, some of the artwork cannot. So when we commission the artists, we told them in advance also, whatever they create, they should think of the history, should think of the interactive with the audience, with the public. So, and if they like it, your artwork will be stay and install on site, and we will give more budget for that. So the first time, the first phase, we install 20 work, and only, but there's 13 of them will remains permanently on site. Next page. And the second phase that we have 12, the next year we have 12 artwork was remained. So gradually people, the staff who work in the park, they have this contact with art, with public art, and then they find it interesting, and then they start to like it, and then next year they are expecting the new works coming. So it becomes a really good way to tell them, to educate them what is public art. Next. So, and then the third phases, we start to because people over there, they start to know and start to like it, and then they feel like they're where they work, where they live, has artwork is very, very beautiful, very nice, and they enjoy very much. So the third phase, we start to commission artists to do the big scale of artwork for them, for the park, and then to to present what was the history before and what was, like this one was the, we see the red deers because this place full of deers at the time. And then the right one, you have this train. And then after, in the beginning of the century, 19th century, 20th century, there's a full of the plantations of sugar cane. So these are the little train who carry those sugar train. So there's a more and more this kind of artwork to tell people where they live. The history has happened ever before, because nowadays they don't see any of this. Next. So, and then the fourth phases of setting artwork that we invite a lot of young artists to give the ideas, and then we select ideas and help them to realize, because young artists all the time they have a great idea but they don't have experience. So we have a team of experienced public art artists and manufacturing and some artistic curators to help the artists when we select their idea and help them to realize it and give them the full budget for it. So you can see there's some of the great imaginations. They put this is a dormitory in the science park, and they created a little boy is use the roof as their tables to do the homework. So it's really creative. Next page. And people like it very much. Like this one, it's a building, and then artists think it's an aquarium. So he designed a whale swim in the aquarium. So that's full of ideas. Next. So, and this is a parking lot entrance, and the artist transformed into a bus. So, and why we wanted to pick up those great ideas is because we discussed with the director. He think the technology needs creativity to give the idea. So we thought those people who are in the engineering, they are very square mind. But in fact, we need to provide them more imaginations to break their square mind. So technology can be improved, not with the square mind, but with the creativities. So that's why we think this can really help them to improve. So so you can see with our work, it's not just for the visual effect, but there's a lot of message inside it, and then people look at it, they can really get all those messages to understand this science park was founded in 2003. So when we do this project, that we really try to do this as an art season. So it with this 7 years consecutive year, we totally install 55 public art, and we also do a lot of big scale opening, closing events, art workshops, education, lecture, and this is the first time in the domestic science park have ever held this kind of art event, and still now we are still continuing. And this 7 years, we have more than 90 artists participate, and 78 art workshop and lecture, 180 guide tour activities, and more than 70,000 visitors. Next. And so you can see all those activity photos, and we really emphasize on public participation. Next. Next page. Yeah, so we have a lot of publications also to promote, and also the newspapers, really that people to understand what is about the public art, and what is the work they can really sing. They can be seen on the science park. Next page. And so I would like to say this project win the excellent prize. Has his really specialty on the really take it as an art event, art season, and also the promotion of the public participation, and also a lot of art resource that we provided to the neighbors, because this place is really far from the city, and there's some neighboring towns. They don't have much culture and art resource. So when we organize every year the art season, we provide free buses to go get all those children from high school, from primary school, to come and visit on the artwork, and give them the free guide tour, and also invite them for the lectures and all this. So it's really a promotion for the art for those schools, which they don't really have much chance to get in touch with art. Next. And so the neighbor township, they all really appreciate, and also it becomes a really good art season for the people in the science park, and also for the neighboring towns. For example, we had this a group of the work called Little Black, and this is 11 black dog make it like a human, and this, why this black dog, Little Black, is because the remains of the first domestic dog is excavated here in this park, and so artists wanted to show why our own real Taiwan raised Little Black, 小黑, this dog. So make this work, and then the way the dogs goes from here, but then goes to the whole islands. So this work is also made, it can be traveled and can be shown in different places, like touring expeditions. So this work was invited to many schools and many public squares, and to show people, which is really interesting, and also the different thinking of the public artwork, which is always installed permanently on the site. Next page. So you can see these are the 11, not 11. Here I show only four of them. So you can see really cute and really attractive. And this is the Taiwan raised, original raised dog called Little Black. Next page. Okay, and then I think with another few minutes, I will just go through other cases that I have done before, and also has some special site for the public arts, the way we doing it. Okay, next. So like this Kaohsiung Xinzuoying Station, this public art project that is done with the very special site is about the public art connected with the construction before the whole building was the station was constructed. That we do with integrate art into the construction, and also some of the project like lighting. The organization, they cut the lighting budget and then give it to the artists to add into the artist's budget to make it bigger. So this is the very first time in Taiwan. Next. So you can see many artwork like on the side, those corridors, also the protection of the corridor. It's also they cut all the budget, they break all the budget and then add into the artist's budget. Next. Yeah. So this is no. Okay. Good. So this is Pingdong agricultural biotechnology park. So this is they wanted to work with the international artists and with Yayoi Kusama, and I know her quite well. So we commissioned directly to this artist. So next. The picture before the first one. Yes. So I went directly to visit her and then to present her this project, and then she right away says he will create a pumpkin, because pumpkin is agricultural production, and also it's very important for Yayoi Kusama, because all his work, we all know about the pumpkin. But the time he told me he didn't want to give us a good shape pumpkin, but a natural one, because it's a biotechnology. Through biotechnology, we can do the good shape, nice shape one. But the original should be like this one, not a big one. So she says she wants to show the improvement of the human of the technology that by us. So this is really a very good thinking. Next. So that is the real one was installed now. Next. So, and when we do this, and then we had really a lot of media promotion, because even the NHK come to film everything. So a good project can be really lead to the media promotion. So I think for the private sector, this could be really a good point for them. But though this project is also governmental. Next. And so for the second project, they saw the effect, the great influence of the Yayoi Kusama in the media. So they secondly, right away, they also want to commission her again, another project. So this time it's about the aquarium research center. So we commissioned her to create fishes for this project. Next. And then the Yuling train station. This train station, because the neighborhood is it's the biggest production of the flowers. So they wanted to really promote this train station. So they also asked me to invite her, Yayoi Kusama, again. So she create this artwork called "I Wear a High Heel to See My Boyfriend." So it becomes a very good slogan for this train station as in love train station. Who wants to in love? Invite your lovers. Come here. So it becomes a very good promotion for this station. So public art can change the can change the urban landscape, as I mentioned before, but also it can be a very good promotion, the image, and for the media. Next. So you can see people are really go for it and take pictures. Even the children's wear the same red white dot on red. Next. And so other big scale of the artwork, like this Binjiang Junior High School, I invited Daniel Buren. He's a very famous artist. And next picture, next page. This is the recent projects that I also invite him to do in Taipei Banqiao metro station. And this one is really big, and the whole station become artwork. So and this is because he is a very famous French artist. So it's been on many newspaper and internet introductions in many in different in the world. So we can have a look of this project. It's really we can imagine the public art can be such a massive way to do it too. Next. Daniel Buren has created many big scale of train metro station in the world, like in London, in Strasbourg, in many in France, many cities. But this one is the biggest one and really beautiful. It just finished last year. Next. So others like the Taichung Opera House, and this is also designed by Toyo Ito. And this opera house is very difficult to construct because there's no wall, it's straight, it's all like a cave. But the public art is really get into it. So this, we just win the environmental integration award last year for this project. Next. And this is the Central Science Park with some beautiful artists from Israel. On this, we also win some award. Next. And this is the Agam also. It's for the Kaohsiung National Stadium. Next. And this is for the Teochew Leaf or Hsinchu Science Park. Hsinchu Science Park is very important, like Silicon Valley in United States. But this city before was famous for the glass industry, but no one knows it. So that's why we invite Teochew Li, who is the most important glass artist in the world. And with his beautiful work, people could understand before the science park, it was a city famous for the glass industry. Next. So this is the Keelung train station, and because the station design itself has a beautiful dome, so we invite this artist to do some surrounding artwork and with the natural light reflections. It's very beautiful. Next. And this is in the Taidong Seashore Park. And we create this artwork with the bamboo material. And this artist is very famous for this skill. And bamboo, because it's a natural material and cannot last forever. So every 10 years, we invite different artists to use another natural material. So to redecorate the dome. So now it's been changed. And this is the first time when we do it. And then now it's changed. And then we expect public art work should have different way to do it, and different period of time has different appearance, and with different artists artwork. So that's how we think that it should be done. Not always the same way. We should do it according to the different location, different form of artwork. Next. So this is National Taiwan University of Science and Technology, and this work is very interesting. Okay, great. Okay, I think I finished my. Hope it's not too long.
It's amazing. It's amazing what you just show. And also, I thought personally, I thought the entire talk was very descriptive and also very thought provoking. And also for the development of public art, right?
Yes.
It seems to be very interesting because it's constantly looking for more intersection to meet with other potential collaborators from different category. Either it is from urban landscape or the architecture or technology or new media or education. So I thought, wow, it's very inspiring in terms of like, you know, the whole master plan.
Yeah.
And the fact that you are art policy making, yeah, I thought like you can share quite a lot about like, I mean, like we definitely need to pick your brand on the Malaysian, on the Malaysian one, yeah. So especially on the collaboration, on the master planning, and also I think over your talk you mentioned about, you didn't mention it, but I think like you kind of hinted like how to set out a model of incentive toward a culture of excellence, which is something that like I thought, wow, is very interesting the way it was thought out, because it's like it was across like 20 years, and I'm sure that a lot of people was involving in it. Yeah, not necessarily just like the art practitioner, but also the company kind of like feel their development with the art and cultural involvement. So I think, Madam Wang, as your experience spread across private sector and public sector, you obviously understand the nuance of negotiating the balance in achieving the common goal for both contexts. So I think Malaysia art scene at the moment, and also the cultural content development, most would probably suggest it is still predominantly initiated by rather bottom-out movement or the bottom-out like initiative. So at the moment, the art and cultural context in Malaysia is kind of part under. It's kind of awkward because it's part under the tourism department. So it's a bit different from. It's very very different from the Taiwanese context. So, but I think we do have a very strong private sector. Yeah, the private sector is very active, and they are like the driver of like a lot of this kind of content making and the art and cultural movement. So what would you suggest, to the art practitioner or the policy maker, or even the corporate CSR program right now in Malaysia? Maybe you can also bring out some example of regarding your journey, because I'm sure that like Taiwanese government probably went through the similar learning curve, and we are probably at the very beginning stage of it.
Yeah, I think to make a law, it takes a lot of time, and also the city is developing, and the country is really moving forward. Like like Malaysia is really developing a lot also. So it really takes time to establish a law for the practicing in the governmental sector. But I think for the private sector can do is really is quite incredible, that more than we can imagine. And also I think for them, they have this more direct impact, and also the direct benefit from it. And if they can get the benefit from the public art, doing public art, because once it's good for their corporate images, and second is to promote the art and culture to the local people as a contribution to the society. So for them, I think if you tell them about this, they can, the private sector, the corporate, they can understand right away. And I think they were willing to do it too, because there's a lot of, like in Taiwan, there's a lot of big manufacturing or big corporate. They have this foundation, their own foundation. And this foundation usually is doing charities, is doing some social welfare cares. But now more and more they devoted to do the art and culture on educations. And why this change directions is because when the country develop, more and more you need this not the hardware construction, but software construction, educations, installations is more important. And with this, like a corporate, they need well-educated, well-developed workers. And in terms of this, I think it's really practically they can be persuaded to develop, to put more emphasis on this side to promote art, culture, education, and this, instead of always doing charities, because charities is like we always. I think there's a saying say that if you want to help the poor people, you should teach them how to fish, not just give them the fish. So with education, with art and culture, you can really raise up the people's conscious and then really do more. And so I think that for the private sector, this is a very good tool for them if they can really they understand how powerful this tool of art and culture. I think it's really could help them a lot. And I think in Malaysia, there's a lot of corporate is really devoted a lot to develop the country, to help the economic and with this idea of promoting public art, promoting culture, and this could really give a really great help and great influence in the society. And but in terms of the governmental side, I think if they can be aware of if we use this to like community constructions. Sometimes you cannot just go there and destroy everything and then tell them to build new things. Instead, you should have artists and social workers goes in and then help them to realize what is the treasure in their society. Even it's poor, but they still have their treasure on history, on culture, on arts, whatsoever. Then help them to identify those treasures.
Cultural trust.
And I think the most important things is to find yourself, the identity of yourself, because I think a developing country many times, most of the times, we try to let them forget who you are. Just work on it, just to make the prosperity of the country. But the sacrifice is every little, the basic on the most low level of the society. But even though they have their own identity, I think it is really important also to let them understand where are they from, what is their history, and who they are. on what's the treasure. But this you can all do with public art projects, because as I said, public art project can be anything, but on the respect of art and culture, and then you try to dig on yourself, dig on the society, dig on the environment, so it can be give all the possibilities.
I really like the way you mentioned like how public art can be used as an instrument to constantly negotiating with the community identity, and also even a national identity, and it's also a form of reflection as a collective. But I think like for the public sector in Malaysia, I think we probably still need more justification for the public sector to support the art sector through understanding, like, the kind of impact of art can create. Because how shall they really measure impact? And it is like a lot of time, because as I mentioned just now, it is kind of part under the tourism industry. So it's inherit the tourism KPI, which is about the quantification of attendee. You see what I mean? It's like a very shallow way of of ascertain, whether this artwork or the cultural work is piece of work is successful. So how do you measure impact, or advising about like impact measurement for the public art, to what government or even the private sector? Because I think you mentioned I appreciate you shed the light on why the corporate should subscribe to the making of driving the making of public art. But because they can see their presence of their brand, is in a way they are one of the PR goal for the company, for the brand setting. But when it's come to government, like how could they understand, so we probably need to give more understandable index.
I think there's things very important about all the countries talk about the capacity of competitions. A country, how we talk about this, it's because this country can be I don't know if you say that the factory the factory of the world, is it you should proud of it? No, because you are sacrificing your labor, your environment, your into it for the production. But if you are the capacity of production, but in the creative mind, the creativity, this is something that we nowadays every country wants to go this directions.
Okay.
So this the public art or culture, this is the way to help the country to enforce your capacity or competition. And also, I think as I talk about the case in the Southern Science Park, this is a science park. Why they need art? Why they need public art? It's because those I say the square-minded engineer, they need to be break their mind, the way of thinking. So what art can do is help us to be boundless way of thinking. So people always think art is doing nothing. Art is we cannot survive with art. Art cannot feed you. But art can really help us to think furthermore, and to have imaginations to break the limit, break the boundary, and that is the world need, and this is really help us to improve our society, our software, if we wanted to say it's more productively say is that this country are more why Apple is sell more expensively than other brand. Yeah. So this is it's because it's always well designed. The color is beautiful. I don't know. It's for those who loves visual objects. It looks much better. Looks so. So in the government sector, they should know you have you have to increase and make update the level of the people's imaginations, and then you get more power. So that's why in this science park, I say in the beginning I say that I admire this director, because this director he knew it that a science park needs even more this our mind, so the people can, those square-minded engineer can have the contact daily life with art, so can influence them gradually. Yeah, without their, because they for sure they were not going to the museum. They go jogging, but they don't go to the museum to visit art. So I think a public art is a very good way. They come to you. They come to your life. You don't need to go to buy the tickets, go to museums. And so then I think gradually we are get upgraded,
elevated.
In
thinking. Yeah.
Yes,
I really,
yes.
Yeah, I think it's very inspiring. And also because I think similar intention also happened in the Naoshima, like, the way they kind of think out the island, like rather than we going to the world, let the world coming to us. And there is a good question from the audience, exactly touching on that. Is about like identity building. So from Law, he was asking about like, okay, public art initiative in Taiwan, is national identity an important factor in decision making and curation?
Yeah, I think first of all, the identity is small. It can be a very small scale of yourself first, who you are. Yeah, where I was born, where I am, and then comes to bigger scale, which city I'm from. I'm, and then to the national wide, who I am, who I belongs to which country. So I think this is the very similar to when we do the public art, because public art is size specific. We do this public art for this place, this location, this field. We don't do a public art project which can be put into this place or that place or that, because this is not a good public art. If it can be put into many places, it doesn't feel like any no good or any good, or you don't feel it. Really good public art, it should be on site, and this on site specific is just what I keep saying, identity. And then if we had this identity, it grows. Like when we were young, we never all the textbook, they don't teach us about how many counties in Taiwan, but we know most of the counties, province in China. So slowly we have to find out where we live, where we are, what is our past, and what we're going to do now, what we are now, and what we're going to do. So the public art project is really right from the beginning. You have to identify what you what is this place, and who are the people who are surrounded, what we want to give as a message. So I think it slowly then this identity become very clear. And I think it is when when we do all the projects, we have to make a very deep study about the history about this place or this organization, or the geographic features. So then, with all this, is the basic material. Then we supplied it to artists, or to the, or in our master plan, based on those studies, and then we decide what is the most important things we wanted to work on this project.
I really like the way you say about, like, as human being, we are the embodiment of, the identity we subscribe to through the living experience. Like we have, it's a hierarchy of experience that we have, and the site specific, like either installation or public art, kind of like enforce or kind of enforce, help like building that identity. And I think, like, because I think you do share about the master plan, or of like how was the transition, because I'm sure that like people, the public mass, they are getting more and more aware of the public art in Taiwan. And it's certainly exciting to see, like, Taiwan has set out, like, okay, Design Research Institute, like since 2020, and we also start seeing, like, all this like culture of design, culture of art, the understanding of aesthetic, daily life aesthetic, start to penetrate the public realm. And from your perspective, what can we expect from the current master plan? Because like the one you mentioned is actually kind of stopped from 2019. Yeah. So what are the goal and the time frame, and also the instrument of change, and also the involved like stakeholder under the forward master plan?
Yeah. So I think because most of the project that we do is kind of you have this budget, so you have to finish it, and but I think all the time the important is the when you go there and you see, oh, this work is really create for this site. So this is something very important, right from when we are curating one public art. But I always come back to the South Science Park. I think they take 10 years. We help them take 10 years. In fact, as I said, that we should do it in 10 years, because a science park, it doesn't construct in one day and then finished. Everything in the time would define is it it's a good project or not. If you take a time enough to do it, then you see the influences and also the impact from it. So I think it probably people think public art is something we just see the result at the end. There's artwork over there, but I think the procedure is more, the process is more important than the result, because the process really bring people to understand each other, to understand why or where we live, to understand what is the goal of this projects and what we gain for this project. So I think this cannot be record and then and so see it in front of us. But I think the way after 20 years of practicing, I really feel that people are really getting interested and they are really proud of some works and they really like it and they enjoy it. I think it is something very important for the society and also for the community, for the country development in terms of the public space as a landscape or as social mental development or the educational progress. I think it's there are many functions in different sectors, but it's just really difficult to list it and then see the figures, because art and culture cannot be listed as a production power or something. This is, yeah.
Like a machine. Yeah. I think, okay, in your talk, because now I want to kind of bring the highlight over the destination making, because I think you do mention a lot, but from a public sector point of view. And I think your company also done some valuable experience, which I think like a lot of Malaysian crowd or company can learn from. Like, for example, your involvement in the most exciting, like some of the most exciting destination making venture in Taiwan, like for example, Chen, and Tainan, 321 Art Community, and Kaohsiung Cubic Container Park, with a focal point on the art, design, creative industry as the key audience. So maybe you can also elaborate on more on this kind of project, and maybe you can like also explain like how it started, like whether this is a bottom out initiative or the top down initiative. Maybe I can also shed the light why I thought it's very relevant to Malaysia. In recently, actually it has been quite a while. Like so there are some similar project in Malaysia.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. I would first talk about the Chen. This is the most oldest street in Taipei. We had our office over there, but we just moved out last year. And when we were there, we tried to organize. Sorry. Stop. Okay. We try to organize the public art festival over there. We call it Summer Public Art Festival. And it's because this street was the most prosperity street in Taipei. But time goes by, it becomes really down and quiet and a little bit backwards. And when we do it, we try to really contact all the shops owners and invite them to join us. And surprisingly, everybody was really supporting our festival. And there was like first year was 69 shops, the second year's 80s, and the third years was more than 100 shops. The whole street, they join us, and then we do the public art festival. But it's just using art to connect everyone. And then I invite artists to create works for the shops and to install in their shops. And they all like it, and even after the festival, they keep it. And then later on, they even invite the same artists to design some packaging for them or with artworks. So it becomes very everybody was fun with that. And also those shops, they are old shops, and maybe 100 years, more than 100 years old shops. They try to figure out what the new way for them to relaunch their business. And they've been stuck on there. But with these ideas and with artists' idea, they think, it's really nice, and there are other ways to do it. So I think sometimes art is just open the window for them, and then they realize there's another world outside the window, and so they can come out from their door. Because people there, they are rich people, but since 100 years they are doing same business, and time change, business change. So they have to figure out how to update themselves to the new technology, to the new aesthetic, to the new trend. So when we did it, we had fun to work on it, and then and we apply some subsidies from the Taipei Public Art Fund. Not much, but just a little bit enough for us to pay artists. Yeah, to pay artists to work on it. And the artists, they don't really ask that much because they are also willing to participate in such kind of fun projects. So this one we really had a lot of fun. And then the other one is in Kaohsiung. Oh no, in Tainan, this 321. It's it's a area of the dormitory with the Japanese house, and it belongs to the Defense Ministry, the Ministry of Defense, and they just wanted to tear down everything and then sell the land and then build a new house, new buildings. But then the Culture Bureau, the Cultural Affair, the Department of Cultural Affairs in Tainan, they say, can we take over and then keep some nice Japanese style house? And so they did it, and they asked us for help. So we help them to run that place. That we invite some artists, some designer to get in, and then we pay for the renovation ourselves. Each of them, we take care of it. But at the end, those artists or designers, they don't have enough money, so we really help them to take care of those 11 I think it's 11 dormitory with a Japanese style house. It's really beautiful. And then now, after a few years of a lot of people go there and visit, and then they really feel that it's such a beautiful area with historical houses and gardens and old trees. And fortunately, by this way, this area was kept, and now they were not going to destroy it. That's I think this way we really help a lot of this cultural, historical old area can be preserved and not destroyed all the time, because nowadays they just think of the very quick way. We destroy everything, we build a new house, we spend a lot of money. It's really sad, really sad. As I said, they take down one by one our identity. We don't know. We don't have anything to show our next generations that this cultural heritage or this historical site. So so this is really important that we were there for 4 years or 5 years, I forget. But now the Tainan, the Cultural Affair of Tainan, they renovate all those old houses, and it's really a great decision, and really happy for that. And the Kaohsiung was another story. It's this is also that was the old houses for the military, and they destroyed the whole village. There's a big piece of land right in front the downtown center, and the government was thinking what to do, sell it to the private for the construction, but they don't dare to do it because people are starting to I think the people start to criticize the government. You cannot just always sell the land of the city. So they asked us to take care of that, to do something. So we installed 40 containers and created kind of creativity park that invite all the young people, young entrepreneur, young designer. Yeah. So they can we rent each container very cheaply, and then they can show their new products. And whenever they want to rent, we will ask them what is the creativity, what is the new things that in the things that you want to sell. So you have to persuade us what is the new content, new idea in your business. And when we see it, oh wow, it's really interesting. Like some of them sell. There's a bike. The bike is really different from the others. And there's a brewery. The beer. The way they do it, they use the local flowers and all kind of really really experimental ideas. And but with the very low, cheap rent, so they can do it. And we are right in the center of the city. So, and we organize all kind of activities. So people comes and then they see it. So it's really, for them, it's really a great opportunity to introduce their new products. Yeah, no matter they succeed or not. But I think it is important to provide such a land for them to experiment. And so this project is it's really interesting. Also, we did it for last year. The government wants to finish this because unfortunately they're going to sell the land. So this project was been for there for 5 years, but it's really create a great impact. And people think there's other ways to do it. So since then, there's a lot of this kind of small container villages here and there, and in Taipei, in different places. And they offer to the young entrepreneur, young designer, young artists to elaborate to cook on the recipes. So I think a country needs this, really need this, to provide the young generations a land to fertilize their plant. Yeah.
I really like the way you touch on, how the incremental intervention with your stakeholder in the community can actually gain slowly you gain the trust. You set out a culture of trust, and also you manage to kind of like help the young and the creative to own a part in the city, and also through the visualization you manifest. This can be done, either from the city scale or even from a nation scale. But because it's a project of 5 years also, it speaks a lot. It speaks louder than the words itself. Yeah.
Yes.
But I think the general conversation is also your sharing has been like really inspiring and very thought-provoking. Yeah. But I'm afraid we probably need to end the sharing section now. Thank you so much, Wang. Yeah.
Thank you, Wendy. That was a great pleasure for me.
It has been a great pleasure for me as well. I've been learning a lot. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So see you. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye.